What's good, y'all? It's Ali back at it again with another YouTube video in which I give you guys mental models you can use to become extremely successful and accomplish all the goals you're after. So let's get right into it. So today we're talking about overthinking, because a lot of you dumb niggas, you're overthinking way too much. You're trying to make these perfect choices in your life to guarantee outcomes, but life doesn't work that way. We live in an imperfect world, meaning you will never make perfect decisions. You will never make a choice with no downside. And that actually brings us directly into the definition of overthinking in the context of you achieving your goals. And basically what it means is, right, as I was just describing, trying to make decisions with no potential downside. So you guys have to understand, as I was just saying, we live in an imperfect world, y'all. We do not live in a perfect world where you get to make perfect choices with no downside. And when you try to operate this way, you ruin your ability to make progress and get better at things. Because if you live in an imperfect world and you're trying to do a perfect thing, it's illogical, it's ignorant, it's stupid. You can't do it that way. Imagine like this. Imagine you're like, okay, I want to get better at shooting a basketball, Ali. So you were like, okay, how do I go to the court, train my shooting for the very first time, and make sure I never miss a shot, Ali? How do I do that? How do I go to the court? I've never shot a basketball before in my entire life, but I'm trying to get better at shooting, right? So I'm like, okay, how do I ensure this first shot that I'm ever going to take, ever, is going to go in for sure? How do I do that? And I'm be sitting there looking at you like, are you stupid, my nigga? You can't operate like that. You're probably going to miss this shot. You've never done this shit before. Just shoot. Just shoot and miss and learn and improve. Y'all, that's the goal. You see, you don't get better at decision making unless you make a lot of decisions. But when you're sitting here and overthinking, trying to make a perfect choice, your decision making never gets better. In fact, nothing gets better. Why? Because you're doing nothing. So this brings us directly even to the actionable step to overcome overthinking. And that is to act plus adapt. Guys, the people who win the most in the world, the guys who reach the pinnacle of their craft, they're just the most willing to do this. They're the most willing to just take action and improve as they go. They're not over here trying to make the perfect choice, do this perfectly, that perfectly, make the right move here and there. No, they're like, okay, this move can help me get towards my goals. Just like the example I just gave. Okay, if I want to get better at shooting a basketball, well, I probably have to shoot a ball. So let me just go out and shoot the ball. Right? Let me just go out and just shoot. Let me go out and shoot. And they shoot the ball. They miss. You know, this is the first time they've ever done this shit. They're like, okay, I missed, but what happened? Okay, I missed, but I barely missed. So maybe my form isn't that bad. Let me tweak my form a little bit. They shoot again. I'm like, okay, that was a bit closer. They tweak their form again. They shoot again. They tweak their form again. And then the ball starts going in the net because they're improving. They're getting better because they're not wasting time trying to make things go perfectly from the first move. Because understand, guys, for a lot of you guys probably watching this channel, you're at the beginning towards going towards your success, going towards your goals, going towards whatever you're trying to achieve. So you have nothing to lose, y'all. You have nothing to lose. It's not like you're in a situation where you already have a ton of resources. You already have all these things. So you're trying to make sure you make a good choice because you actually have a lot to lose. But a lot of you niggas are at the beginning, so you have nothing to lose, which means you should be doing the most. And this is how everybody should be moving when you have nothing to lose. You should just be acting and getting better, because it's from getting better that you actually gain resources where your decision making is forced to improve. But the good thing is you've been acting and adapting so much that your decision making has gotten better. You've gained more experience because you made a lot of choices. But when you're sitting here and you're overthinking, trying to make perfect choices, you never get better. So imagine you're given stuff. This is also why I think it's so bad for a young man to make a lot of money at a very young age, simply due to the fact because he doesn't have competence, he doesn't have experience, he has not made a lot of decisions, right? He hasn't adapted to a lot of the choices he's made because, like I said, we live in an imperfect world, so you're gonna have to adapt, right? Things are going to go wrong for sure. So when you're a young man and you're given a large sum of money, you don't really know what to do with it because you have never had to make a lot of choices in your life. You've never had to adapt a lot, right? Which is why it's better to have ability and skill before you have money, because this is the ability and skill, the acting and adapting. So just the most important thing from this video I want you guys to take away is that we don't live in a perfect world. To win in life is not to make the best decisions. Every man that has reached the pinnacle of his craft has fucked up a ton of times. They will tell you about their life stories and you'll look and you'll be like, damn, that was stupid that they did that shit. Right? But that's just what happens. This is the first time you're doing this, guys. This is the first time you've been on earth, my nigga. This is the first time you're doing this. This is the first time, like the example I just gave, this is the first time you're shooting a basketball. It's the first time you're doing it. If you've barely done any reps or repetitions with something, you're not going to be good instantly. You're not going to make the perfect choice off bat. That's not how life works. You try to do that shit, you guarantee you stay mediocre forever. You have to just be more willing to just make moves and adapt because you have nothing to lose. We can even play things out for fun. Okay, what's the worst thing that can happen to you? All right, I guess you could go broke. All right, you go broke. Now you're broke. Well, you still probably want to achieve the goal that you want to achieve. So you can just find a way to make money as long as you're still alive to then try again. So going broke isn't actually that bad. Okay, I guess you could die. You could risk dying. Well, if you die, nothing matters anyway because you'd be dead. And if you don't die, then great. Then you just keep adapting and improving, right? So even in the worst case scenarios, generally speaking, dying or going broke, you'll still probably be fine. And even before you make a choice that could risk you dying or going broke, you would have a lot of information that you learned before that. It's not like you're a dumbass. I would hope you're not a dumbass. You're just making moves randomly. When I'm saying this, I'm saying there's moves right now in your head that you know would help you achieve your goals, but you're avoiding doing it because you're trying to make sure the downside doesn't happen. But understand the potential for downside always exists in all decisions because we live in an imperfect world. Meaning what you actually need to do to get the shit that you want is just to move and then course correct. If shit goes wrong, be like, okay, shit went wrong. Let me fix this shit, make another move. Let me fix this shit, make another move. Okay, things went well, boom. Okay, things went wrong again, boom, fix this shit, make another move. And that's how you get better, guys. That's how you win. That's how you achieve your goals. Stop thinking so much. There's nothing to think about, bro. If you have nothing to your name, you haven't gained very much, just move. Just move and adapt. Move and adapt. And I promise you, you will have everything that this life can offer you as a man. I'm telling you, just got to move and adapt. So yeah, let me know how you guys felt about that shit, man. It's a very, very simple model, but a lot of you niggas struggle with this. I want you guys to just get moving. You got to do shit, man. You're not going to be on earth long enough. You got to make moves. You got to conquer a lot of shit, man. So I want you guys to get moving. So you really fuck with this shit. If it completely changed your mindset and the way you approach acting and thinking, like the fucking video. We need to grow the fam. I need more guys to see this shit so they can become as strong as capable as possible, because a man is very dangerous when he's just acting and adapting and isn't wasting time thinking too much, trying to make perfect choices. He's very dangerous. So I want that to be a part of the fam. I want more guys who are like that. So like the video so more guys can see this. And of course, subscribe to your boy, because I'm trying to get rich and famous and make a ton of money. And the only way I can do that is if you guys make me famous. What the fuck? Why else would I be doing this? And I want you guys to be rich and famous too. And the only way you can do that is by not overthinking and just acting and adapting and improving, as I do. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna catch you niggas in the next YouTube video. Deuces.